During change out, you want to be as efficient as possible. So one easy way to do that is after you have pulled your trash, after you've stripped your linen, before you start cleaning, to go to the closet, get that housekeeping cart, stock it with everything you need. Make sure you have your toilet paper on there, your Kleenex, all your towels, all your sheets, everything you need for change out. Make sure it's on that cart. Go ahead and tie an extra trash bag on there in case you miss some trash. Carry your vacuum. And what you want to do is you want to go to that farthest room away from the closet, work your way to the closet, and you want to have everything you want. Because if you're constantly walking back and forth to the closet, that's just wasted time. You want everything to be right there handy. Clean a room, shut the door, you go to the next one. It's the most efficient way to do it, and it's going to save you lots of time and effort to have everything there with you. So you're going to need to find a system that works for you. You're going to need to find a way to do change out one room at a time. Some people want to start on the bathrooms first and then do the rest of it. Some people might want to make beds first. But whatever you do, get you a system. Because once you get in the system and you do that repetitively, you get used to it. You move quicker that way. You can also remember where you're at during the change out. And so those first couple change outs, find the system that works well for you. Stick with that system. Make it work. The one thing I'll say is you want to vacuum last. Because if you clean stuff, after you vacuum, you clean everything on there, you have to vacuum twice. That's not being efficient. That's wasting your time. So clean everything, then vacuum. Last thing you do, walk out the door after double checking. So get you a system that works for you. Stick with that system, and it's going to help you out during change out. So the things I see that get missed the most often, and the things that when I go check your rooms are the first things I'm going to look at, are underneath the bed. A lot of people miss cleaning underneath the bed. A lot of stuff gets kicked underneath there, and for some reason our guest finds that stuff. Also behind the nightstand, people are always moving those nightstands to plug in cell phone chargers, that kind of stuff. Check behind your nightstand, crackers, food, all kinds of stuff gets stuck back there. Also the floor, the bathroom floor, cleaning it and also sweeping that out before you clean it. And the bottom of the toilet, right there where it gets bolted down. People clean the top of the toilet and inside, but they forget that bottom of the toilet, and our guests see that. As well as cobwebs, like in the corners of the rooms. Those also get missed often. So check those things, make sure that's part of your checking procedure, that you're checking those areas and making sure they're clean, because I guarantee you when I go to your room, that's the first thing I'm going to look at. Don't forget to, before you start vacuuming and during the process of vacuuming, check that bucket. Make sure that your vacuum's not full, because the one will break the vacuums if we run them when they're full. Two, your vacuum won't run efficiently, and so you'll be constantly vacuuming the same thing, not picking up stuff because you just didn't empty your vacuum. So make sure you empty that out right there at the start during the process. It's going to help you along the way. Also, a lot of times during change out, you'll think that you're missing linen. You might not have enough sheets or towels, that kind of stuff. Most often where that is located, if you're missing some, is either on the shelf or somewhere in the closet, or the other person working in that same floor on that same hallway took too much, and so they have it. And so before you call on the radio, before you go asking for it, take a look, check the other places. There's a good chance that it's just right there with the other person or stuck in the closet. One of the most important things is clean one room at a time. That means you go into that room, you clean everything in that room, you get it completely finished, shut the door, go to the next one. That's going to do a couple things. One, it's going to allow us to be able to keep track of how you're progressing during change out, where you're at. It's going to also help us to, at the end of the day, send people to the right spots. It's also going to help us when somebody comes to help you. They're going to know what rooms they can go ahead and start on and start cleaning. And it's also the number one thing that drives me mad during change out is when people aren't cleaning one room at a time. And so to save both your and my sanity, clean one room at a time all the time. So other than cleaning one room at a time, the other thing that always gets people in trouble is they will call and say that they're finished, and they're not. Before you're finished, you always go back, check all your rooms, because when you clean that many rooms, it's easy to miss stuff. The other thing is the hallway and walkway at the location you're at, the stairwell, the elevator, all those areas is part of what we clean during change out. So if you've cleaned all your rooms and you haven't cleaned those other things, you're not finished. So before you ever call anybody, make sure you check all your rooms, everything's good. Make sure you're checking the hallways, that they're vacuumed or swept. Your elevators are clean, the stairwell attached to where you're at is clean. Because if I go and you tell me it's clean and I see that, then in my head I'm going to say they didn't do what they're supposed to. So I'm going to find as much work as I can to keep them busy, to teach them next time to double check those things. So if you go ahead and do that and I come over and all those things are done, I'm being impressed and think you're awesome, and that's what we want.